Swap jam, nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Hot. This is Jam Hot.
Welcome to Who's Hot with your host, Wil Chung.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the latest UKOCR podcast. My name is Wil Chung, and I am the host of Who's Hot. I'm here with my co-host. I've got Mark Dickson, who was the race director of the Nuts 3K Elite National Trials. Mark, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. We'll come back to you very soon, Mark. I'm also here with another co-host and also third place elite male in the race. We've got Chris Shipley. Chris, hi.
You're right, Will, how's it going?
Yeah, all good, thank you. We'll come back to you because we actually have a very special guest. We have the elite ladies winner. We've got Federica de Caria. Fedi, hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us on the Who's Hot podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me and for this very, very nice presentation.
Well, we're all bowing down to you because, as the elite women's winner, absolutely fantastic. So, Fedi, let's start with you. Of course, you won, but how did the race go?
But the race, I mean, it wasn't perfect by any means. I'm very, very proud and very happy of how it went. I think I raced relatively smartly, apart from my last obstacle, which was my band taker on the very, very end.
Oh,
but
no.
I'm proud of how the race went. Definitely, I had to play it smartly because of the weather conditions. I think the rain kind of changed a little bit everyone's plan on how to approach and attack the course in general. So I had to try to, or at least I had to try to slow down a little bit at the start to focus on the technique on the obstacle and focus more on the approach of every single obstacle that I faced. And then there was a middle part of the course that still had some hanging obstacles, but had also carries and walls and river crossings and so on. And I think I could have, I could let go a little bit in that part and push a little more, and then tried at the end to compose myself again. Almost did it. Not quite, but almost. But it was a great race. There was quite a bit of back and forth between the girls. So I was racing with Kate and Tama, but I know that Libby and Pip and Amelia weren't far back anyway. So it was a really good competition.
And you were saying about the middle part of the course going a bit more traily, going through the river. So were you, and I don't know whether this kind of made any real difference, but did you manage to keep your hands dry at that point? Or actually, because of the rain, it didn't really matter so much whether you tried to keep your hands dry or not?
Oh, I think my hands were wet, but I had gloves. I really, really love my workers' gloves that I...
You got some builder's gloves, have you?
Yeah, builder's gloves are the treat when you need to touch metal, wet bars. And yeah, they work really, really well for me. So it didn't matter that much. But I was trying, in fairness, to keep them not away from the mud as much as I could, because that doesn't really help your grip. So yeah, there's that.
Chris, Mark, Mark, I know we've talked about gloves before, but Chris, where do you stand on wearing gloves for OCR?
No, I'm completely against it. But then I've got my hands are a bit different to everyone else's. I touch scaffold poles all day, so mine are rough and ready. They're like leather gloves anyway.
You see, I'm delicate office work.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, but
I only ever used to wear them when it was really cold, because obviously my fingers are useless because of the rain nights it was cold. But that was literally just for cold. Otherwise, for wet, no, I just grip harder.
Yeah, I think skin on metal can sometimes be a bit better, but I think it's personal opinion, isn't it?
And they get bunched. I always found them they get bunched. I prefer just rely on my hands. Just have to grip it harder and hang on a bit more. Yeah,
I totally agree with Mark there. And sometimes I find that mud can sort of create another extra barrier between the obstacle.
I think a majority of them did have gloves on. I know Boulder did, Zumba did. A lot of them do have the gloves on. To be fair, they're all office workers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's that silky soft hands that you get from tapping a keyboard all day. That
When I was a young apprentice, the old boys used to go to me if I had gloves on. I was working away and my hands would be all fiddly and that, and they'd be like, "Get them stupid gloves off." So yeah, always told to wear bare hands on metal.
So, any particular part of the course, Federica? So you're very much like our other co-host Becky, who can't be with us today, but she likes to think about the course. She likes to think about and take a few seconds before jumping on any of the rigs, any of the obstacles. So you were saying before that generally you did stop and think about each one before jumping on, but then possibly the last one kind of let go for you.
Well, it wasn't exactly during the race. It was more like before. Obviously, like, first of all, sorry, I forgot to say, Becky, you're definitely missed. You're a much better analyst than I am, but I'll do my best. But yes, so they obviously published a really nice video with Ellen, very masterfully going around the course. Of course, the difference there was that Ellen had the best condition possible, and it was absolutely lovely. Whereas on the day,
I just mentioned that when we was filming, Ellen did say to me, "I feel really bad for everyone," because I've looked at the weather forecast and it was supposed to be. Well, we got what we was expecting. She said, "I'm doing a nice little run through. The weather's nice." She went, "They're going to be suffering."
or
So
maybe
she knew.
it went a bit to my advantage, because if he had shown everyone how to do the wet weather technique, then I wouldn't have managed, you know. So maybe we can see it like that. I had a thought of how to approach almost every obstacle in the wet, because I do know myself a little bit. I've learned, and then I've also watched people before me approaching the obstacles and how they were treating them. But for example, it's a tiny thing, but I knew that there was the little bundle of obstacle of Valkyrie and then low rig, for example, coming after quite a high heart rate section of crawls and jumps. And I knew that on the wet, the moment in which you reach up to Valkyrie is pretty crucial, and there was a possibility to slip. So I knew in my head what I wanted to do, and I elbowed that ring, which I know the guys will just like shake their head for, because I should have the strength to stay up. But knowing myself, I knew exactly what I wanted to do there and why I was doing it. So yeah, in that way, I mean, I plan ahead a little bit. Of course, not everything goes as I plan it all the time. So I do need to react in the moment, but I do generally try to have in my head a technique or a way I want to approach things.
I'd shake my head about the chicken wing, not because you should have the strength, because it hurts. Oh, you're a lot lighter than me, so you've got an advantage. But
yeah, you're a wimp.
I've tried doing that before, and I was like, that hurts. I'm not doing that.
I like the chicken wing. I like the chicken wing. It's a good tool to have in your bag.
When needed, it comes out.
Yeah,
you know?
it's good just to get you out of those situations when everything else isn't working and you need something to get by.
I don't practice it, if that helps. Like,
no,
it is painful. I don't do it in training. I don't practice chicken wing.
Yeah, I tried it in training once, and I was like, "No, I'm just not doing that." It hurts.
It's that. Yeah.
So again, I'll just go through the top three. So Fedi, you were first on Nuclear Phoenix 26:55. Kate Stillwell, again, one of your teammates, Nuclear Phoenix 28:04. Tamar Barkley, Wild Forest. All coming from that particular area though, so 29:18. So absolutely fantastic. And you know, again, with the rest of the elite team, absolutely great contenders. Chris, let's go over to you. Congratulations on your third place. I saw that video and my heart broke for you at that point. But I just want to very quickly, I'll go through the results first, because I think the listeners, if they've not heard the results, they'll probably hear why my heart broke for you. But Morgan Maxwell, Rumble Racing 17:55. Sam Clark 18:14, so only 20 seconds behind. And then Chris Shipley, HY Runners 18:16, so only 2 seconds behind second place and just over 20 seconds behind first place. So had you not made that bit of a slip, the first place was yours.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment, but that's kind of racing for you. It can go any way on a 3K, and it just went against my favour. So
can I just say before you talk about your race, I didn't have you anywhere near the top, just because I know you prefer longer races. So how has this changed it for you?
Well, you was as shocked as I was. I remember after I got past Valkyrie and got onto the first low rig, I was like, I seemed to have got into first place then, and I was like, what the bloody hell am I doing here? And then I just managed to carry that the whole way around, and Mark was just kept running with me in the head, and he was like, "You're doing really well," and I was thinking to myself, well, this is a bit unusual for me being up here, so now it's good. But yeah, it was a strange place to be.
You was running well. You was comfortable. You was looking strong for the stuff. You looked good all the way through.
I didn't feel comfortable. I was dying out there. That was for sure.
Yeah, but you weren't strained. It's how you should look for a 3K. You should look in pain, but control pain.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
Pain.
That's what you pretty much was.
That's what I dislike about the shorter events. It's quite intense the whole way through, but maybe I've got a bit of a knack for it. I just didn't.
You see the positive. You were able to hold it out there, so you can do it again.
Yeah, well, I've signed up now for the 3K in European Championships. I thought I'd give that a go, and probably do the 3K now in Belgium as well.
You will find the better you get a 3K, because you're running as good long distance. You'll improve your long game, because you're getting on the obstacles quicker. Because you're used to doing it at a short distance, you can do it at the longer one much easier as well. So they go hand in hand. So fair play. Get involved in the 3K a bit more.
Yeah, it should be good.
Just tell me a little bit more about your race then, Chris. What happened? Was it kind of rain affect play for you? Or was it just a little lapse of concentration?
So at the start of the race, I think that's when the heavens really opened. I think that was probably when the rain really started. And I was at the start line, and I kind of just held back a little bit. I didn't think I was going to be up front or anything. So everyone shot off like a rocket along that field, and I just sort of plodded behind everyone, and I was at the back of the field, and I thought, bloody hell, everyone's running quite hard. And I thought, well, I'm not going to run that hard, because if I run that hard, I'll just fade. So I just stuck to the plan, got to the tyre that I wanted to get to do the tyre drag, pulled that, and as I came off the tyre drag, I sort of got back into the mix with everyone, and then we entered the barbed wire crawl. And then after the barbed wire crawl, we had Monty, which I find is actually a really good obstacle. And Mo and Darren, I think they were hopping over it quite quick, and I like to just get over it without using too much energy and just do that.
Which one's Monty?
Monty's the one. It's like the fence bits, and you got to go over, touch the floor, over, touch the floor, over, touch the floor, over, touch the floor. Got over that. Didn't feel too tired after that, and then I just sort of ran a bit harder, because I knew you had Valkyrie and then the low rig, and I thought if I get to the low rig before anyone else, I can probably get through that quite quick. I'm quite confident on my obstacle ability, especially at nuts, because I do train down there a bit, and I know the course quite well. So I got there, and then, like I said before, I sort of found myself in the lead, and then managed to hold that somehow until I got to that last sort of mid low rig, where I touched that L bar, which was just super slippery. It just caught me off guard. It was like touching something covered in KY jelly. It was just hot. Yeah,
you've used that reference a lot. I don't know how many times you use KY jelly of your working day, but I've heard about your scaffolders.
It's good stuff.
I think that a lot of people found that particular grip challenging there in the lower rig. I think it's probably caught quite a lot of people out.
I did. I don't know if you've noticed. I took it out of the
low rig at the start.
The low rig before the start of the race, when I knew it was going to be a bit wet, because it was the first. I didn't want people to lose hope so early, so it was getting through. I wanted to crush their dreams towards the end, but.
It's funny how you said that, because me and Darren, we looked at it and we was like, that's not going to change anything. When you change that, it was like, that's not going to do anything. But I suppose it would have done.
It would have changed the hell of a lot. A lot more people would have lost their band, because it was the first time you hit it. So as you go there, you swung on the rope, you would have grabbed that, and that's where majority, because you'd have been blowing at your arse anyway. So the moment you grabbed that, a lot of bands would have gone with that first one. So we just swap that over before the start of the race, and then obviously once the race starts, they can't change anything for anyone. So it was.
Thanks so much, Mark, for being so thoughtful and like a gradual heartbreaking course that you built.
Destroying people's dreams as it goes on.
Just along.
Start on a high, you just brought us all down.
It's only from experience of races. I don't know if you was at the Euros last year watching poor Laura Hayward, have a chance of a medal and about in the last obstacle where they bunch them all together and lose their last band. And it's what these races do. Yeah. So what I wanted to do is try and achieve as much as a similarity to these competitions you're going to face, so people have a taste of it. But you want people to enjoy themselves. It wasn't that hard, and you could get all the way round and all the rest of it. What I didn't want is people to go, I've lost my band early doors, and just heads to drop. So I think we kept a lot more on the low rig than we usually did, considering it was wet. So I was quite pleased about that.
No, I think you built a great course. To be fair, I don't have that much experience of this style of racing. I'm trying to gain it. We even went to Italy to get one race in terms of experience just for the band system. I haven't, despite everything, I haven't been doing OCR from just since 2019 or something, but between COVID and everything. So I've done mostly Spartan, and I've never had the chance to do the Euro. So yeah, I do think that the course that you built was very clever in terms of the grouping of the obstacles and the challenge of the obstacle as well. And I find it very interesting to have to plan or think ahead in terms of strategy on how to attack it. So no, it was very well planned. I found it really fun actually to go around.
Thank you. But it's like with memberships, even with I know it's a lot longer. When you go out to the OCR series, that sort of thing, you have little groupings, then you have a run, so you can gain different. If someone's really good technically, they gain that advantage, but then you can catch them back up on the run, and it's just sort of for the back and forth. I think it kind of worked, even though it's a short course. You still had that different strengths played into different parts, which is the big shot for you was the fact that you dominated every aspect, which you wouldn't generally do. You would have picked up on certain bits, but you put the training in. You look sharp.
Yeah, I've been even since last year. Last year the goal was to do well at the OCR series, and I've just been carrying on that training to this year to try and do well at the OCR European Championships. And through training, I've been doing little short bouts of shorter stuff just to try and get me into that kind of racing style, which I think's paid off quite well. But hopefully it carries on to the 15k, which is what I'm trying to focus my intentions on anyway. So
12k now, mate. They've dropped it.
Yeah, they dropped it, didn't they? No, it says 12k plus. So we live in hope.
Yeah. Remember Poland? It was a short course. The 3k was 7k, and the long one was, I think, 18k.
Yeah.
Because Rob Boulder's never forgiven for that.
Wow.
Never forgiven for the fact it was 7k.
Let me talk about the age group winners or shout out the age group winners. Then Mark, we'll go over to you and really talk a little bit more about the course and how you kind of designed it and whether you thought in terms of the failure rate was about right for what you was aiming for. But congratulations. I've got to move the microphone a second. Maria Burton, Harry Jeffrey, Izzy Young, Hayden Andrews, Mia White, Emmy Hales, Tommy Matthews, Cheryl Pace, Connor Wickens, Shelley Tompkins, Zach Harper, Lou Ferriman, Jason Molan, Barry Buchanan, Bob Border, Enkani Kaskalis, Jason Wright, Tony Leary, and Andrew Durrance. They all won their respective age groups, and they have all qualified for the European Championships for automatic qualification. World Championships. Let me start that again. So congratulations to all of those that have won automatic qualification to the OCR World Championships, which is in Belgium later on this year, September 14th to the 17th. Mark, back over to you. So rain obviously didn't really help the races so much, but in terms of the race itself, how people kind of got through the obstacles, the flow of everything, even the kind of failure rate, was it pretty much what you was expecting, or was it kind of better, worse than what you was hoping, again because of the rain possibly?
With the rain, it's probably what I was expecting, to be fair. And even without the rain, I was expecting it to be faster and a few some mistakes anyway, because there's little bits. It was a fast course and nothing really difficult, but there was little bits to catch you out if you went a bit gung-ho. And if it had been a bit more sunny, I would have put a couple of extra little curveballs around, but we just didn't want to because of the weather. But I think it was about right, to be fair. With the people got close, and it possibly should have done better, but I think it pretty much stood up how it should have done. The results, and it actually made really good racing as well, because in the over 50s race, that was a really good one.
Oh, that was amazing. That was a brilliant race. Great race.
Jason Wright won it, but coming through there, you had Jason Wright, Dean Johnson, both battling, and it got to the point where Jason had found an obstacle. Richard Jarvis as well was right behind them both, and he had all 3 bands when he got to the rings, and stupidly made one on the rings, which is just unheard of. He's made a mistake, just cost him a band there. But if he hadn't have done that, when the other 2 had failed, he could have nicked the win. Yeah. So first off, I think Jason made a mistake, and then Dean Johnson, who's his first race back, he's had loads of shoulder operations. So, well, hats off to Dean. If you're listening, Dean, well done. A great performance for the first one back. Took Jason right to the wire, and he slipped off. I think it was the wheels at the last bit, just the slipperiness of it. And it literally could have gone either way with all 3 of them ones to get through. So just them little mistakes just added to the racing quality, didn't it? So obviously not with you, Chris, you didn't enjoy that part, but as a neutral, it was great to see whether you could get round in time. But I think the penalty worked as well, because James was a little worried before that there might be a bit of a hold up on the penalties. And me and Sean sort of said, well, if you get held up on the penalty, it's not really our concern. You shouldn't be doing a penalty. But it turned out it wasn't really. No one got held up, and it was a true and decent punishment, really. When it should be the clean run wins the race.
It was such a great penalty. I wanted to really, really do it. Like I just really wanted to experience it.
Do you want to just remind people what the penalty was? I remember, wasn't it going over the tire rig or something as well as a bit of a run?
I'll let one of these 2 tell you because they done it.
Feddy, what was the penalty?
So what happened is I got to the last attachment, and I was like, oh, I haven't done the penalty yet. Mark said it was so great, so I just missed the bell. And yeah, so basically you had to climb up this set of tires with like all the lovely water coming in, and I cleverly picked the exact same lane that Kate was going up, so I got all the water in, which is great. And then it was actually quite fun descending, like it looked like a slide, so you could have literally slide down the net and then climbing back up a little bit of a jump into a second structure, I would say, and then coming down and then doing all over again if you failed more than once.
Poor Kate did it 3 times.
No!
I think Kate was a bit unlucky, and she wasn't wearing the gloves. I told you the gloves are really important. I think Kate was just unlucky, but she ran really, really fast, and she made me push quite a bit because I knew I had to stay close enough to try. So
she was really strong running, because obviously
really strong.
Finished, I joined you guys. I think it was at the tire carry, the brake bay carry. And I've followed Kate round as well. Yeah, she was running really well. Like I said, she just mistakes. It's the early part of the season. It's better to get them out of the way here than, say, in Hungary or Belgium.
Yeah. Yeah, it always happened that you have a race that doesn't, I don't know, sometimes things don't work. And I think that she just had a couple of slips there, but Kate is a super strong runner and a super strong obstacle racer. So, yeah, it's just one race.
Darren Martin's another one. He's really strong at these 3Ks. He's really strong. He just had a bad day. He made mistakes all over, but he finished. He looks, because like, we've been away loads of times with Darren and Chris. And he just looked at me, so don't even bother talking to me.
It was really funny because I remember looking back and I could see Mo and Darren, and because I've been running so close to Darren in the past, I could picture his face. And I could picture his face like being so like stern. He has his like race face, and I just knew he had that face on as we were running. And then when we finished, he had that very face. I was like, "All right, how'd it go?" He's like, "Don't talk to me." But he's been training really well.
How long did the penalty take? Was it like 20 seconds, 30 seconds?
No, for everyone else, it was just. This is from Sean. Chris done it in under a minute. He was ridiculously fast doing it. But everyone else, it was about between a minute and minute 20.
That's quite a penalty for a 3K. Then that's quite a lot, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I was going to punish people.
What was really good about it was, as he was coming up the tires, he was kind of just waiting for the sound of someone to fail, because as he was coming up, you could hear everyone going, "He's done it, he hasn't done it," and like I was going up, then I was just praying, "Someone please fail." So that was quite good. Keeps it intense, or in tires.
Yeah, that they do fill water, because we used to do it when we was training down at Nuts with the team. If we'd do sort of circuits, so someone would pick 4 obstacles and you all run around together, sort of just as a training thing. And someone would come up with, it's called the Nutcracker, the obstacle. Someone would come up with that and say, "Oh crap!" So it's a sprint to get there first. If you like, because you want to get up the tyres first, because then you can kick all the water down everyone else coming up behind you. So it's yeah, it's not fun being behind someone because they're full of water, and if they're bouncing up and down on them, it's you just get cascading. It's not the cleanest the water because it's been there for a while.
Thanks.
It's grim. It's grim.
So next time, Feddy, don't follow Kate up the tyres.
Yeah, I'll try my best not to emulate that one.
Chris, any more thoughts about the race? Feddy, any more thoughts about the race?
I wanted to give a little shout out. It might be a bit of an aside, but to Ollie, that is very, very young and went to do the elite race. And I spoke to him at the end, and he was like, "Oh, I got last." And then I checked his time, and he was like bloody fast. And he's super young, and he still put himself in that position. So big shout out. Of course, he's a nuclear phoenix, so there is probably many more that I should remember, but in this case, just big shout out to Ollie as well.
Can I also say about Ollie, but when I heard he was going in the elite, I went and speak to him beforehand and said to him, "Look, I'm brilliant, you're going in the elite, but because you're running the elite, you've got to do the rec bag, you've got to do the same rules as everyone else." I said, "Because it's got to be a fair race in the elite." And he went, "That's what I want." So that attitude was fantastic. He said, "I want a fair race." It would have slowed, at his age and his build, it would have slowed him down so much fatigue-wise and the speed carrying a rec bag. I'd probably say it's a minute penalty, but the fact he was going in that way, it's not fair if it's not the same race. So, but he fully on board with it and wanted it to accept. Yeah, so well done, Freddie. That is a great shout. Well, if you're listening, Ollie, well done. Lots of respect for that.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll go on to some more juniors a bit later on, but that's showing that all these youngsters coming up, they've got some real danglies going on because they got some mustard, and they.
Not all of them, the girls don't.
Oh, the girls don't. No.
What? You're joking. Like, have you seen the obstacle of Libby? Like, she was brilliant.
Danglies.
She got some kahunas.
You get lost in translation.
Sorry, I didn't hear that one actually.
I was trying to get him to use a different word, like a lot to both the sexes, just the cojones.
They've all got good mustard. They're all mustard. Yeah. Everyone's mustard.
We'll take that one.
Good one, go through.
But yeah.
Anyone else you want to shout out? Juniors, seniors?
I want to give a big shout out to a junior because when James made us go around with the juniors for the junior race, I got to chase around a young kid called Cameron. He's from like the Team Grit team, and he was super fast. I've never seen kids like it. And I got a bit carried away because I thought they weren't doing the whole course. So I was like, "Come on, run!" And he picked the biggest tire to tire drag. It was literally, he couldn't move it, but he managed to pull it the whole halfway, pulled it the halfway back. And I was like, "That's him done. He ain't going to be able to run no more." I was like, "Well, come on then, let's go." And he ran so hard every time, did an obstacle. And I was like, he still isn't going to be able to keep going. And I see
you on the ladder rig with it, by the ladder rig with him. You was buzzing. You was talking about this kid.
I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. Literally, I at one point I thought I was going to kill him, but then I was like, he's just pushing through everything. And he picked up the tire and he was like gritting his teeth. And I was like, he doesn't care. He's just going for it. It was incredible to see. And I was really like blown out by how hard he was pushing. He was just giving it everything. And I thought it was amazing. It was the highlight of the day.
There's another one of the little touch. James Burton put so many touches towards this race.
Yeah.
The organisation was fantastic. And little touches like that with the juniors. So that's up to James. The race wouldn't have been anywhere near it was without James involved.
It really made the day. That did. Really made
I had great fun following the juniors. It was probably better than my own race, to be honest. To see them like pushing through it, and it was just it was really fun.
It's really exciting for the future of the sport, really. If they all carry on going the way that they're going, I'm really excited to see how OCR will be like in the future. It'd be really good watching. It's good for the sport.
I started out, I've got to do an apology to Zara Hayward because I was running around with her, but I've been running around all day and I was bursting to use the toilet. So Nick Silby took over for me. Then I got sidetracked doing brick bags. So I got a DNF for my run round. Nick took over for me. Nice. I'd like to do a shout out to, there's some ninja, is it Imi? Imi House and her brother never done an obstacle race before, and they were really impressive. Her younger brother, because apparently Emily's done quite a few things, he was fantastic, but the younger brother's never done anything, never done any obstacle races at all, and he pushed Connor Wickens like literally to the very end. It was that close. And you think Connor's a Spartan world champion and stuff, and this is just some young lad that's done a bit of ninjas with his older sister, so he done really well. If you can get him into the sport, that'd be someone else that'd be really good. Like I'm
Well,
talking
they're amazing ninjas from the few things I've seen. So fair play for also coming and adding them out to the obstacle, but they have great strength. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen him before. I was like, wow.
Didn't we stalk him? Didn't we stalk him from last week? Because
Yeah.
we knew he was going, and isn't he like a
Downhill skateboarder. Yeah, I've been following him on Instagram. Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but downhill skateboarding is not really mud running, is it?
But it's like mad. They are mad.
It's a niche
Yeah,
sport.
that means you have no fear, so
Yeah.
it's good.
No one can see you do that, Chris. So we can hear you go.
And now the description of Chris trying to emulate somebody going downhill skateboarding.
Yeah.
You look really professional doing it, though, Chris. If you're listening, Chris just like zipped around his front room and he looked the part.
I look like Tony Hawk.
Where's the cat today, anyway?
One of them's out, and the other ones, they're both out.
Oh.
This is their nighttime time. They go out and party in the neighborhood and stuff.
Bless. Anyway, guys, any final thoughts on the race, how it went?
One thing I didn't say is I really enjoyed some of the girls stepping up and coming to elite that I haven't seen before. It was really great. I know it's super tough and we're always a bit of a tinier start line than the guys, but yeah, if more girls want to come, it's absolutely it's great to battle it out. So yeah, thanks for the girls who stepped up.
Awesome. Federica, where are you next?
At Spartan.
We'll talk about Spartan in a second. Chrissy, are you off to Spartan?
Yeah, I'm down there on Sunday. Yeah.
I might have to make the trip. I've got tickets, so maybe if I go, Chris, maybe you and I can do the sprint, and it can be a warm down for you or something if I'm there.
I'll be in the beer tent.
It's not exciting. I'm doing the Milton Keynes half marathon on Monday.
On the bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Get that good time, Mark.
I'm going to go for sub 80.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a championship qualifying time for something or?
No, it's just target I've been after. I got an 80 minutes 27 seconds a little while ago, so it's not far off.
How's the course?
I think it's flat, but I don't know if that's going to help me. I don't think I like a bit of hills involved. I'm not too sure. I'm going to get bored, I think. I don't know. I'm going to give it a go.
If you want hills, come up to Stoke, come and do the Potter's Half with me. That is bloody hilly. But if you want flat, Manchester Half is one of the flattest half marathons in the UK.
Milton Keynes is a half one. That's right. It's a really flat one. And it's a certified course, so I can use the time for a good race London place as well. Because I've only got to get a 1:26 for my, because I'm an old git, to get in the good races. So the further down you get, the better. So yeah, the goal's sub 80, so that's what I'm going to go for. But yeah, if you want a hilly half, it's the Midsummer Munro's the best one. That's the Box Hill one, 1,200 meters. I've done that last summer. That was
perfect for a PB.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, I was 1:45 on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, you ran well.
Guys, thank you very much. So this has been the recap of the Elite 3K National Tries hosted by Nuts. Race director Mark Dickson. So you can follow Mark on Instagram at Mark_Dickson_OCR. You can follow the Nuts team. They are at Camelot EVTS UK. They're also on Instagram. But if you do a search for Camelot Events UK, you'll be able to find them. Thank you to my special guest, Fedi. You can find Fedi on Instagram at Federica de Caria on Instagram, and also to our local co-host, Chris Shipley. He's always very weird because his Gmail account is nothing like what his normal account is, and he's called Rafaela today for any particular reason. But you can find Chris at Obstacle Dude on Instagram. If you like what you hear, then hopefully you're already following us on Instagram, but you can find UKOCR across all of the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and everything else. Oh, they got a TikTok, so Alan likes to do a little bit of TikTok from now and then. Of course, if you're elite, if you're really wanting to help to push OCR forward as a sport, then please do follow British Obstacle Sports as well. We are going to be back again next week. This is a bonus episode, but we're back again next week because we've got the Spartan Super recap. We've already done the preview. If you haven't already, please download it. We had Karen Tricky from Spartan to talk about the course. And again, if you haven't already, the map is already out, but no obstacles. Let's see how that goes for everybody. But that is the Spartan Super, which is the first race of the UK Obstacle Race Series, which is on Sunday, Spartan Super, Sunday, the 30th of April. My name is Wil Chung. This has been the Who's Hot recap of the 3K Elite National Trials, hosted by Nuts. And thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the latest UK OCR podcast. This is the Who's Hot, and my name is Wil Chung. I am the host. Oh, fuck. This is already.
Wanna waste what's left, and on we'll go.
See, this always happens, Freddie. I'm sure Becky kind of warned you about it. So.
It makes me feel much better. It's fine.
I do it on purpose, Freddie. Honest.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
Go on, Bill. That was smooth.